We can't keep meeting like this. Just kidding, yes we can, because apparently, while all of this Monat stuff is going down, this is what we gotta do. Because it's just non-stop updates, and don't worry, you know, if you're someone who's here for my deep dives and stuff, I haven't given up on those. There's just a lot going on, and this is the way that I'm choosing to cover it. So remember in my last video, how I said that Angela Sumner had left the internet and hadn't posted for a few weeks? Well, I don't know if you're ready for this shocking plot twist. She's back already. We knew Angela couldn't stay away for long. Now, I actually watched my friend DC react to this on her YouTube channel yesterday, and I had no intention of reacting to it because I'm like, it's just probably just a bunch of nothing, but it's actually a lot. There's a lot to go over in it, and I'm like, I guess we're doing this again. So there's no sponsor or anything today, so we're just gonna get into it. We're just gonna see what kind of tea Angela Sumner be spilling. And also, yes, I am breaking out all over the place. Don't mind my acne. Yell at my hormones. All right, Angela, what's up?
Hi, you guys. I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet because I have a little one who is trying to pick up my tripod.
It's not short and sweet. This is like a 30-minute video anyway.
I was not planning on coming on here today, but a lot of you guys are messaging me because you have gotten an email telling you that I am not your Monat market partner anymore.
I'm gonna be cutting a lot of this part out. Well, probably a lot of parts of this, which is another reason why I decided to do it this way, because she's just like farting around with her baby right now. Her baby's like playing with the tripod and stuff, so there's lots of stuff for me to cut out. Lots of filler crap. So if you see cuts, that's what's going on. I'm not cutting out any context though, so don't worry. Just the boring, repetitive stuff that doesn't matter.
About, I guess, a few months ago, I'm not gonna go back to the beginning because I don't have time. I wish I had time to tell you everything, but I don't because I don't have childcare and I'm a single mom. So in December, I decided to go into my business and work as hard as I could. I hired a personal assistant to build out systems. I went all in. I went all in to see if I could truly get to the point in Monat that I wanted to be. I really wanted to reach the top of the compensation plan. I had already earned the car. I had already earned all the trips. I had an incredible downline. I had 1,500 customers.
That's a lot, dude. 1,500 people. Well, like, I'm assuming they're her, like, VIP customers, the people who are on auto ship. Like, that's a lot. That's kind of impressive, actually. I would congratulate Angela on such a feat, but you had 1,500 people that you were just, like, selling the world's worst hair care to, so. Oh, real quick. I know I've said this in the past few videos. I'm using this foundation because it was $40, okay? It is too light for me. I fix it with bronzer. It's gonna be okay. Calm down. Anyway, what I find interesting about Angela is that in her first 2 or 3 months in Monat, so this was a few years back, but within the first few months, she recruited so many people. She got awards and stuff for being, I want to say, like the top recruiter in the company at one point, like just for 1 month or whatever, maybe a quarter, I don't know. For a specific period of time, she's the one who recruited the most and was like, she was pulling major numbers. So I find it so interesting, not surprising, but interesting. Oh my God, I look like a clown. You can be someone in one of these multi-level marketing companies who, by all definitions of the word, is successful. You're building your team, you're selling products to thousands of people. I mean, it's reaffirming what we always say, that success in these companies is very hard to maintain. So what it sounds like to me is like her first few months, she like blew up because, if you didn't know, Angela, which I have a deep dive about her, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Before she joined Monat, she had a fairly successful like coaching business, which back at the time that this was going on, she considered herself to be a witch. And then she had like all of these courses that she created that she was selling for hundreds of dollars for each participant of basically how to be a magic witch. And she had a pretty successful business doing this. She essentially had a cult following. She was literally a cult leader at one point. So she already had like a decent sized following that like when she jumped ship into Monat, they followed her. So it was a big boom at first. You know, she gets in, brings everyone in with her. wins awards. And now basically what I'm getting from this is she's just straight up admitting that like that initial boom that she had when she signed up, because she brought a bunch of people in all at once, was not maintainable. And you could be the number one recruiter in the company for a short period of time, for any period of time really, and you're still not going to be anywhere close to being like the top rank in the company. Nothing like that. So it's just really interesting to hear someone who at one point had been the top recruiter in the company be like, I wanted to get to where I wanted to like go all in. It's like you recruited more than anyone else in a specific time period, and you feel like you need to do more. And technically she does, because even all that prestige, all those awards wasn't enough to get her to the top of the pyramid. So I don't know, I just find that really interesting.
Hundreds of market partners that I had enrolled personally, and I wanted to go all in to see if I could reach the top of the compensation plan. So I reached out to some of the Christian women in Monat because I had heard rumors that you couldn't get to the top of the compensation plan unless you cheated.
Where'd you hear those rumors from, Angela? Could it have been from anti-MLMers? No, seriously. I mean, and this is another thing I have a video about. Definitely go watch it. If I can find it, I'll link it in the description. At this point, it's been so long and I've posted so much about Monat that I'm like, I don't even remember which video it was. But basically, there was one point where a very prestigious group chat of a bunch of leaders, some DMs from that group chat got leaked. And basically it was like the end of the month. They were all trying to get this one girl to her next rank, which I think is the car rank, where you get the car. So they were all basically buying her rank for her. They're like, oh, I'll buy a $100 Rejuvenique oil from you. Sure. Go get your car, sis. Great job. You earned it. And it's like, no, she didn't. You all bought her rank. But yeah, I mean, literally cheating the system. Like, you can't do that. I don't know whatever became of those people. I don't even remember who was in that group chat, if they're even still in Monat. I don't know. But this did happen years ago, so I'm like, hey, Angela, where did you hear this rumor? I mean, it wasn't a rumor. We had proof that it was happening, but we all know that these people shut us out. They shut any sort of criticism, or, you know, if it's something they don't want to hear, they're going to shut us out and they're not going to listen to us. So that's precisely what Angela and everyone in MLMs basically they're gonna do. They're just gonna sit there and go, la 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 la, can't hear you, until suddenly now what's going on in Monat is affecting Angela's pocketbook. It's affecting her wallet. It's affecting her wealth, and she doesn't like it. And so now she's speaking out about it. That's the frustrating part, but also it speaks to the kind of brainwashing that happens within MLMs. When you're in it, you might be presented with this stuff and it doesn't do anything for you. You're just like, oh, whatever. They're just a bunch of haters. Whoever said that, they're liars, they're haters, blah, blah, blah. There is that kind of culture within these companies. So I don't want to 100% blame Angela for having this mindset, because the companies perpetuate it. Because if you even stop to question for 1 second what's going on in one of these companies, you're basically terminated, labeled as a suppressive person. No one will want to talk to you anymore. Also, it's going to be really interesting here because Angela will pretty much tell us the same thing, like someone I trusted, someone I cared about, and someone I thought cared about me ended up blocking me. And it's like, yup, that's what happens when you go against the company, you know? It literally is a cult. So anyway, I will also say that I think some people think that I'm too easy on Angela. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I did that deep dive and I researched her for like literally a month straight, just scripting and putting together information just on this woman alone. I think that humanized her to me a lot. I know there are probably going to be people who are like, you're being too soft on her. Angela is one of those distributors that I feel like really helped me see the humans that are behind these cult personalities, you know? My feelings towards Angela, it's kind of the same feelings I have towards Jessie Lee Ward. Can't stand her, couldn't stand what she did, couldn't stand the way she made her money, but on a personal, human-to-human level, I felt bad for her. And I kind of have that same feeling towards Angela. And I know there are a lot of people out there who are like, no, she doesn't deserve sympathy, she doesn't deserve blah, blah, blah. I just feel like despite how she definitely put herself in this situation, the situation itself still sucks. And I wish people didn't have to go through it, especially Angela being a single mom. Maybe that's where some of my empathy comes from. Like, she has a baby that she's trying to provide for. Even though she was providing for that baby by scamming people, it still sucks. Like, it's still a shitty situation to, like, not really know what you're gonna do for money and have a baby to feed. Sorry, we can get back to watching it. I have a lot of, like, intricate and complicated feelings towards Angela.
I had heard these rumors. So I reached out to some Christian women that I trusted in Monat, and I asked them, like, how did you get to the top? Did you cheat? Did you lie? Did you deceive? Or did you do it, like, through sheer hard work?
You can't make it to the top of an MLM without being deceitful and stretching the truth, lying by omission, over-exaggerating. You literally cannot. But of course, they're gonna look at Angela straight in the face and they're gonna go, oh, no, we would never do that. I would never lie. I love Jeebus. And Jeebus hates liars. But also, Angela, like, from a social level, you can't just, like, go up to people and be like, hey, are you successful because you're a liar?
Oh my God, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're at the top of a pyramid scheme.
That's gonna put people off. I don't know what you were expecting, like, coming off so harsh. But that might be why you seem to have been met with a little bit of pushback here. But anyway.
Did you get to the top through sheer hard work? And
you can work hard and still lie, by the way.
Because I worked my butt off, you guys. For 2.5 years, I worked sometimes 10, 15, 20-hour days. And I could not get past a certain rank.
And this is what we keep saying. The anti-MLM movement says this all the time, and now Angela is absolutely confirming it. It's not about hard work. It's not about how many hours you put in. It's not about, oh, you're just not making time. You're not prioritizing the business, and therefore you're not growing. You're not doing X, Y, Z, and therefore you're not growing. For so many people in these companies, it does not matter how much time, effort, how many hours you put in, how many sacrifices you make. Like, it does not matter. The system is rigged for 1% of people to be unbelievably successful. And not even 1%, literally like 0.1% of people to be unbelievably successful, and then everyone beneath them to not make any money. The multi-level marketing business model does not work if that is not happening. Because if most of the people in every downline, if they're not losing, if they're not constantly buying, then the top doesn't make their fortune. And that's just how it works. Luck is very much involved in multi-level marketing. Not always. I mean, Angela had a following before all this. She brought them over to Monat, so she had a leg up on everyone. I don't know what rank she was at or anything like that, but I would guarantee she's still in the top 1% of successful market partners. She made it up there. She had a leg up on just your average Joe. And here she is still saying, like, no matter how much time and effort I put into this, I still couldn't make it work. Yup. It's because that is how the system is designed. It's designed for most people to fail so that a very, very small fraction of a percentage at the top can win. That's it.
So I was like, what am I doing wrong? Am I a bad leader? Am I just missing something? And everyone just kept telling me to do the same thing. Work harder. Just work harder and you'll get there.
Yeah, just work harder, they kept saying. If she's already putting in like 40 hours a week on this, where is the time freedom that she was most likely promised, you know? I'm sure she was promised that there would be some time freedom here. And meanwhile, they're like, you need to put in more time. I know you're already putting in a full-time job worth of time into this pyramid scheme. And I know, like, we all sold you on the whole time freedom thing and getting to be a present parent in your child's life, but you need to dedicate more time. Time freedom who? Make your own schedule, all that shit, all goes out the window.
So they all told me the same thing. Just work harder and you'll get there. Like, keep enrolling, keep going live with your girls, work harder. So I worked harder than anyone I know. I worked so hard, you guys. I was enrolling 10, 15, 20 market partners a month. I'm not crying. My eyes are just watering. We were just sick. We were like really sick. Not her. I was really sick. I worked so hard. And if you know me, you know how hard I work. You know that I don't sleep unless I hit my goals. And I was working so hard and I was not budging. I was not moving. And I was like, I think these girls are over here cheating. Like, that was my intuition. That was my feeling. And by the way, you guys, I cannot read the comments. Like, I can't. If you have a question, when I post this live, you can ask the question in the comments and I will answer.
By the way, apparently she deleted this live like immediately after she posted it. So yeah. I also find it so strange that she's like, I went up to Christian women and asked them if they cheated. Well, if they're Christian, of course they're going to tell you no, because if they admit to cheating, then that's not very Christ-like of them, huh? But also, like, what do you expect them to say to you? Yes, Angela, I did. But it was all in the name of Jeebus. Like, what do you expect them to say? You expect them to just straight up admit to cheating the system so that they could get ahead? That's what you thought was going to happen? Okay.
So, I had COVID, so I'm like, my stepdad died, I went home, I got COVID, it's just been wild.
Shocking, Angela has COVID, the anti-vaxxer witch. Like, what? She has COVID and she had it for 2 weeks? What? No, I know that the vaccines don't stop people from getting COVID, but like, come on. At this point, we should all know that most of the time, if you're vaccinated, you have a much more mild case if you do contract COVID, and clearly that's not the case for Angela. She's like, I've been so sick for 2 weeks. It's like, okay, all right. Listen, someone in here is going to be like, I'm fully vaccinated and I went to the hospital because of COVID. Like, okay, I know it's not everybody. Calm down. It's just almost justice to see Angela be like, yeah, I got COVID. After her bullshit with the face diapers and comparing all of this to human like, it's almost like it wasn't a hoax the whole time.
So anyway, I asked all these people, like, did you cheat? And, you know, women that I trusted, like Christian women. And I'm using this because if you know, you know. I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to say. I'm not going to today. I'm not going to. This is for my customers and for my market partners. I guess it was like 2 months ago. I reached out to a woman that I trusted probably the most. And I just told her, I'm like, I have these feelings that things are not what they seem to be. And I have a feeling that people are cheating and like lying. And I have a feeling that some sketchy stuff is going on. And I just, like, woman to woman, Christian to Christian, this is what I said to her. Like, Christian to Christian. I know, I'm puffy and inflamed because I had COVID, like, for 2 weeks. You'll see all my supplements on the counter.
Yeah, those did a lot of work.
So
they worked
I
real
just
good.
said to her, just shoot me straight. Like, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Please tell me the truth. Because I am over here killing myself trying to get to the top of this company and I am not budging. And like, no one works harder than I work. So like, please tell me if I'm off. I feel like I'm gonna cry because I worked so hard, you guys.
I don't deny that Angela worked hard. I'm sure she did. Actually, I think we know she did. She was posting so many reels on her phone 24/7 all the time. Every single day, posting on her stories about Monat products and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not going to sit here and deny that she didn't put a lot of time and effort into this. But again, your success in MLMs are not dependent on any time or effort. It's dependent on plenty of factors, sure, but not your time and effort.
I worked so hard. If you were on my team, you know how hard I worked. Like, there were times in my business that I held a team call every single day. There were times in my business that I did not go to bed until midnight, 1 a.m. because I had to sign that next market partner to get that next bonus. I worked so hard.
I had to recruit somebody else so I could make more money. I didn't go to sleep until I recruited somebody so that I could make a paycheck. That's basically the job. Just saying the quiet part out loud, I guess.
There was a point that I was making 5-figure checks. There was a point that not too long ago that I was making 5-figure checks, but things started to change. And so I'm going to tie all of this together. She wants to nurse, so you're just going to have to wait.
The thing that's interesting about the 5-figure checks thing, it must have been a few years ago by now, but there's a YouTuber named Cece Suarez. You probably know who she is. She, discovered that Monat's financial records and stuff were public record. Like, they were just like on some website somewhere and anyone could see them. And so she like went and exposed all of them. And I know she still has all the documents. She showed them to me in person one time. Her and I did a collab a long time ago in a hotel room when she came out to visit, and she showed me those documents. They exist. I've seen them with my own eyes. She made a YouTube video about it. Monat threatened to sue her, so she deleted the video. It's not up anymore, but she does still have the documents. And in a recent video she made about Angela, she said that I think the year that she had financial records for, or whatever time period it was, she said Angela was only making like $30,000 a year. She's like, oh yeah, I was making 5-figure paychecks at one point. It's like, when? One time, maybe? Like, did she make $10,000 2 months in a row, like the first 2 months that she joined, after all the fast start bonuses and stuff kicked in? And then after that, everything just fell off and she had a hard time making like $1,000 a month? Like, the records don't lie. I don't remember exactly what the number is, but she literally like 30,000 and some change is what she made whatever year it was that Chelsea had those documents for. So there's no way you were doing that every month. Like, don't sit here and act like that was a regular thing if you were only making less than $40,000 a year with Monat. Like, let's be real here.
So I had customers telling me like, and I had a friend who is a very successful makeup artist who's been using the products for like 5 years. I had her tell me the products changed, like something changed. I had people telling me they had like scabs on their scalp, they had like burns, they had like a lot of hair loss. And then I found out that the ingredient on the bottles, like the ingredient list, had changed. And at the same time, commissions were cut. So we were making zero. If you know sales, we were making zero CV, zero commissionable volume on flash sales, which we were having a flash sale every single day.
So if you didn't know what she's talking about here, I'll just explain it real quickly. And MLMs don't do this very often. Like, most MLMs don't have like sales, you know? I mean, some of them do, but Monat was huge on this. So what they would do, and she says every day, they must have like upped it, because back when I was covering Monat a lot more than I do now, it was like an every Friday thing. So Fridays are the days that market partners in Monat would get paid, and they would also conveniently launch a flash sale. So what most market partners would do is they would get their scraps, their paycheck scraps, and then they would go reinvest it by buying more Monat products. So the company basically just got back all the money that they got done paying to their market partners. And they would do this like every week. And so what Angela is saying is that they would do a flash sale. So like the price of the products would be lower, but somehow the math worked out that if they had a customer buy from them on this discounted product, they basically wouldn't get paid for it because it had been discounted so much it like comes out of their paycheck or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but some just like wild buffoonery. That's so crappy. And like when I used to be a dog groomer, they used to do the same thing to us too in certain ways. Like what it was is that we would have like 10 or 15% off Tuesday for seniors or something like that, and they wouldn't pay us like the full price commission. They would pay us the commission based on the discounted price, which meant if you were working this day, you're basically making less money that whole day. It's wild. And companies get away with doing this. And Monat, well, obviously Monat is a pyramid scheme, not an actual job, but like it's corporate greed, really, is what it is. So that's what she's talking about.
And then on top of all of that, I find out that we're selling on Amazon, that Monat, the company, has opened an Amazon storefront that people can buy from, and they don't have to have a flex ship, and they don't have to have a market partner, and we're no longer direct to consumer. And we used to say we pay out 50 cents on every dollar. Like, the company used to pay us so much money, and the company like just cared so much about us when I first started. Like, I just genuinely felt like they cared about their people, and like all these things changed.
That's a funny joke, Angela.
So like I said, a couple months ago, I reached out to a very trusted Christian that you all probably know. So yes, I was terminated as of yesterday. If you got the email that I'm no longer your market partner, that is what I'm addressing right now. I reached out to this person and I said, listen, I just have a feeling like, and we had been talking about this. I had reached out to her like over and over and over again because she was at the top of the company, and I just thought, okay, she's gonna tell me the truth. I had reached out to her like over and over again.
I wonder, like, who is she talking about? I feel like it's probably like Brittany Rose or something, you know? I wanted to name drop her, sis.
Over like probably the last year, I have been telling her, like, I feel like things are off. We got our commissions cut. None of us were making any money. None of my girls were making any money. No one on my team ranked for an entire year. No one on my team earned their car. No one on my team earned trips. It was like nothing, no one could get a foot up.
That's pretty wild, especially because she was saying she has like hundreds of people on her team, or she had personally enrolled hundreds of market partners. But then also that doesn't necessarily mean that they stuck around very long. So still though, you look at someone like Angela Sumner, who was like a pretty big name in Monat, and for her to be like, yeah, none of the people on my team had their car, none of them were getting bonuses, none of them blah blah blah, which is interesting because meanwhile the whole time Monat and you know, corporate was putting on this front like, oh yeah, we've never been better, we're about to be $1 billion company this year, woohoo, we're doing great. Doesn't sound like you were. I mean, we already knew the truth, right? We already knew that they weren't doing great, but this is just, I mean, really just more confirmation that they've just been lying the whole time.
No one could get ahead. I was just like, and sorry, I'm rambling, you guys. I'm just like, I'm trying to make sense of all this because the company kept saying, we're growing by leaps and bounds. We're doing so great. Like, sales are up, enrollments are up, but like, no one that I talked to was having that experience. Like, no one that I talked to was ranking. No one that I talked to was earning money. No one that I talked to was like actually experiencing this exponential growth, except for like 2 people who have waist length, incredible hair, who literally were just selling the products like because they went viral.
Well, Angela, you had really long hair and you were selling the products for a few years. If Monat was so great, how come you didn't have perfect, beautiful hair after using it for a few years? You know, what's that about?
Nobody I actually know and have spoken to was having any of this growth, any of this, like, we're up 100%. We're like, no one was having that. And I thought something was wrong with me. I was like, something's wrong with me. I can't get ahead. I am not doing this right. Then I heard from a friend who left the business. I heard that there were a couple of lawsuits coming. Oh, that's the other thing. Our president, who is a godly Christian man who would pray over us, pray over the business. On the trips, he would be an incredible light to all of us. He was so joyful and so kind. All of a sudden, we get a tiny little email that he retired, which we all knew that wasn't the case. We all knew that wasn't the case because he had no plans to retire. So I find out they terminated him. I find out the company is like taking all... I can't say that. Hold on, I can't say that. I gotta watch what I say.
This is interesting that she says that. She's like, I gotta watch what I say. My theory, and this is obviously just a theory, but like, I think she left social media, like deleted her Monat red flag Instagram highlight reel, deleted everything about olive tree people off of her social media. I think it's because Monat threatened her. I think Monat was being meanie bobinis. And why wouldn't they, you know? After all the shit that Angela was talking. So for her to say that, I'm just like, yeah. You got some kind of letter, didn't you? You got some kind of legal correspondence from Monat, didn't you? I think she did. Also, it's always just like shocking to me to hear these people constantly talking up Stuart McMillan as being like this godly, like wonderful man when, and this was years ago, like literally like 2 or 3 years ago, probably 3 years ago at this point, where we caught Stuart McMillan trolling anti-MLMers, like he made his own like Finsta account. It was called like Trollin' the Trolls 2021 or something like that. And we found out it was Stuart McMillan because back then you used to be able to do this. I don't know if you can still do it on Instagram, but you used to be able to, like on the login page on Instagram, type in the account name and then it would come up and for you to enter your password and it would have like half censored email address and phone number. Like you could see the last 2 digits of the phone number linked to the account and like some like random letters of the email address. And they matched Stuart McMillan's actual account. the email address, what we could see of the email address and the phone number. So we found out it was Stuart the whole time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd say that that's like a very Christian thing to do, to make a fake account so you can go, like, and he was like saying some like ad hominem, like rude shit, like mean shit. Jesus wouldn't approve of that. Like, he was clearly a manipulative, insecure, sad little man, if that's what he was doing with his spare time. So when all these people are like, oh, he was such a light, he was such a good guy, he was this and that, it's like he was hiding behind fake Instagram accounts so he could talk shit to people who disagreed with him, like, or talk shit to people who were critical of him. But yeah, oh yeah, he's just the best ever.
I find out there are allegations. Is that legalese?
Allegedly.
There are allegations that the company has been untruthful. Well, he has a lawsuit, and it's like anyone can look up the lawsuit. He's claiming that, right, they didn't keep their word. They terminated unlawfully. They had do not competes, which are unlawful as per the FTC.
They are unlawful now as of very recently, but when he got hired 10 years ago, they weren't unlawful. Even like upwards of a year ago, they weren't unlawful. So I don't know how that would affect everything now. I would imagine that every non-compete that was signed before was it the FTC? I don't know. Said that like non-compete clauses aren't cool and you can't do it anymore. I would assume that everything signed before then still holds up. You just can't sign any new ones. But that's just me speculating. I don't know. Maybe something can be done about it now, but it wouldn't make any sense for that to be the case now. But anyway, yeah, what she's talking about though, with the company being deceitful and whatever, I mean, first of all, we've been calling shit out like this for years, and suddenly now that you're seeing it affect your paycheck, now you want to believe it. Up until this all started happening, we were just haters and losers and people who had nothing better to do with their time, and no, we were just like reporting on facts, and you guys just sat back and called us haters. So it's like, who's the hater now? But I do have a live stream where I read through the Stuart McMillan versus Monat lawsuit, so definitely go check that out. I'll have that link down below. I read through the whole thing, and it's pretty wild. Stuart spills a lot of tea. Long story short, the biggest accusation that he makes is that, so like Monat owns the manufacturer of Monat's products. Well, when I say Monat owns it, the Urdaneta family owns it. So basically the CEO and like all the people at the top are the Urdaneta family, and then there's also Stuart McMillan, who is not part of the Urdaneta family. He was like the outsider. But so basically, since the Urdanetas own the manufacturer, they were able to control like the prices that Monat was paying to have things manufactured, and they would bump up the prices really, really high, like abnormally high, so that Monat couldn't claim an accurate number on their profit statements because they were paying so much to the manufacturing. But it's like Stuart was trying to get them to find a different manufacturer that could manufacture Monat's products for cheaper, but the Urdanetas of course didn't want to do that, and the reason they were doing this is to avoid paying Stuart any bonuses that he was due. According to his contract, if the company like reached a certain amount of profits in a year, he was due like, I think it was like $800,000 as a bonus, and then like after a few years it went up to $1 million, and I think in the 10 years he was working for Monat, he said he only received like one of those bonuses or something like that. And he should have been receiving them the whole time, but Monat was essentially, I called it money laundering in the last video, but some of you guys said it wasn't money laundering. You said it was embezzlement. Would that be more of what it is? I don't know. They were just like purposely running up the price of manufacturing so that they could report lower profits so that they wouldn't have to pay Stuart. And then by extension, some of their market partners, because then they had the whole founder share thing. So there was like for a year or something like that, they're like, if you join Monat right now and you get to this certain rank, you'll get a founder share, which means every single month they would take all of the profits that Monat made, they would take 1% of those profits and split it up between every single person who had a founder share. But if they're reporting lower profits than what they actually would have made if they had a cheaper manufacturer, not only would Stuart have gotten more money in his bonuses or gotten the bonuses at all in the first place, but the market partners who had the founder share would have been getting paid more too. It's all really twisty.
And they're terminating all these people and not paying them. So that's what I had heard, right? This is all hearsay. So then, yeah, I hear about all these things that are happening. And y'all, all this is happening. No one's making money, no one's ranking, no one's getting, they're like, no, it's just like one thing after the other. One thing after the other. Oh, the other sketchy thing, you guys, was when we went to the Bahamas in October. Usually we have like, it's really extravagant. Usually there's like a conference room that's reserved. We have a big party. There's all this music. There's a DJ. And it seemed like a lot of corners were cut. Like it just seemed off. All these things felt off.
So because it felt like Monat wasn't making as much money and couldn't afford to splurge on their events anymore, suddenly it's like, something's wrong here. Is that what you're saying, Angela? Sure, I guess.
By the way, you guys, I will say I loved Monat. Changed my hair, changed my life. Like, I found Jesus Christ through Monat.
It's just so wild to me. I know I say this every time that someone says this, but to say that you found your faith, your religion, you found Jesus through a pyramid scheme is the most wild fucking statement anyone can make, in my opinion. Absolutely wild. Ma'am, like, how do you not hear yourself? You joined a fucking pyramid scheme and now suddenly you love Jesus. Meanwhile, you're running around being like, oh, this is a God-centered company. We all love Jesus here. Join for Jesus. Hashtag join my team for Jesus. Meanwhile, Jesus literally said in the Bible not to use his father's name to sell shit. Like, essentially, he was flipping tables in a temple or whatever it was, in the courtyard of a temple, getting angry that there were merchants selling shit or like doing something with money, like converting money or something. God, I'm rusty on my biblical lore, but it's something along those lines. Jesus said, don't do this. And here they are in a fucking pyramid scheme. Jesus doesn't like this shit. The Bible basically says you shouldn't be doing this shit. They also say in the Bible that you should pray by yourself. You don't have to make this big extravagant statement like your walk with the Lord is a personal thing. You don't need to go out into the street and shout it from the rooftops. You should be alone and have your time with God. And people who like make a show out of it are also kind of condemned biblically. So they're just the most hypocritical people on the fucking planet, dude, is basically what I'm saying. But it all comes back down to saying that you found your religion through a pyramid scheme is just absurd.
I am not hating on the company. I'm not hating on anything. I'm just telling you, if you are my market partner and you are my VIP, I am telling you what has happened and why I am no longer in the business. Then the first ever market partner, you guys, let me just paint a picture for you.
Okay, so she's about to start talking about Tony Van Schoik. That's who we covered, well, one of the people we covered in my last video. So go watch that if you haven't caught up with that.
The first ever market partner in the company, the first ever market partner who has made over $15 million. She has no one above her. She is the first ever market partner. She has no one above her. They terminate her illegally. She has filed a lawsuit.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong on this, but like to say that they illegally terminated her, I don't think that's the right word. I don't think anything was illegal about how they terminated Tony, except for maybe if they don't pay her, right? Also, I don't know if that lawsuit has dropped yet, but if it has, can someone send it to me, please? I have the Miami-Dade County website pulled up on a tab on this browser, so I do check it every once in a while, but if you guys see it before me, please send it my way. I am waiting for the moment where we can finally read Tony Van Schoik's lawsuit against Monat, because I feel like there's going to be even more tea spilled at that point. And then we'll do another live stream reading through it, of course. But that's who she's about to be talking about.
They terminate her. Where do you think that money goes? If she has no one above her and they terminate her, where do you think that money goes?
She's right. I mean, the same can be said for, I think Maggie Daniel is the name of one of the people we covered in the last video too. She was trying to get her organization transferred to someone else within Monat, like someone who's a hairstylist, someone she trusted with her team, and someone that she wanted to move her team to. She sent in that request and they were like, no. So, and that's what I was saying before, like, if they don't roll that shit up, do they just get to keep more profits because they're not having to pay out bonuses to a leader anymore? It sounds to me like Monat is just like all willy-nilly terminating all of these top leaders because it's gonna save them money ultimately. It's less people they have to pay, and then they still have that downline and the VIP customers and stuff making monthly purchases because they're all on auto ship. You get rid of the leader, that's just less bonuses you have to pay out. It's less commissions. It's in my opinion, that's just just how I see it. I don't know if that's what is going on here, but it all makes sense. And Angela saying it too, and just like, yeah, this is what I was saying. Or maybe she's just saying it in a better way than I was, but these are the questions I had too.
The company has changed. It used to be a God-centered, gratitude-centered, family-centered company. It used to be a company that I was proud to stand behind. It used to be a company that I was so proud to represent. You guys, I loved this company. I believed in it so much. Eve has a purse now. Here's your purse.
That's a fanny pack.
I'm gonna put it in there. I believed so much in this company. Slowly but surely, things really changed. And it's been so stressful because y'all know the anti-MLM people, they just love me. I truly thought I would be in the company forever. I thought I would be at the top. I would be a director. I would change lives. I would help women earn incomes. I would help women stay home with their babies. But you guys, I am telling you right now, all those things the people at the top say, it is all from my experience. It is all deception. I'm trying to watch what I say.
Shocking. I know. It is kind of weird that she was just like, oh, the anti-MLMers, they love me. Anyway, like, that seemed really out of place for her to say that. It is interesting because, like, despite all of the, like, content I've made about Angela, she still hasn't blocked me or anything. So it's like, it's not like you're trying to, like, hide any of your shit from me, Angela. Like, me and other people, I don't know. I'm sure she's blocked some people, but somehow, even after everything, I'm not blocked on my main account. Like, I mean, I have stock accounts and stuff. I'll get it if I need it, okay? But that being said, it was just really weird for her to bring that up. Did she bring that up to be like, oh yeah, the anti-MLMers have been basically saying all this for years, and by the way, they're right. No, she would never give us that much credit. But why else would you bring us up? Like, we've been saying for years that MLMs are deceptive and manipulative and literally fucking cults that brainwash you and shit. And here she is being like, yep, all the people at the top, it's all deception, it's all lies. It's like, what are we, chopped liver? These people never want to fucking listen to us until it's convenient for them. And then they'll listen. And then they'll agree with what we say. Wild.
When someone at the top tells you to put your blinders on and keep working and keep enrolling and keep going live and keep going and keep.
Okay, this is a great pause story. What she's saying is not only behavior control, telling you to keep going, but also information control, to put blinders on. Now, those are the first two letters of the BITE model. You have behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. And I guess you know what? Putting your blinders on is kind of like a thought control thing too, because like if you don't see the other side, if you don't see the criticism, then you can't think about it, right? You can't ponder these things. You can't ask questions because you don't even know what is the criticism, you know?
They're doing that to protect their own income. They're doing that to protect their own $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're over here making what, $500 a month?
$500 a month is being very generous, Angela, and I think you know that.
What are you making? They have thousands of people under them who are making like $200, $300, $500 a month. And here they are raking in these $10, $20, $30, $50,000 a month checks. And of course they want to tell you to put your head down, put your blinders on. You guys, get real with yourself. When there are flash sales every single day, and they're on Amazon and you're not making any commission off of your sales, and you're making a measly couple $100 a month, y'all, I had thousands of people underneath me. And my checks have dwindled. Y'all, my check yesterday on Friday was $100. And I have 1,500 VIPs. I have 1,500 VIPs.
That is pretty weird. $100 for 1,500 VIPs. Because if you're a VIP, you have to be on auto ship. So like, are they auto shipping? Everything they're auto shipping is stuff that's on sale? Is that like, is that how that would happen? Because that's wild. That also probably means that whoever her downline is, like, none of them are working the biz. None of them are making sales. So therefore, Angela is not making commission off of their sales. She's not making bonuses off of their sales. So that makes sense. But like 1,500 people on an auto ship should get you more than $100, like you would think. But I guess if they're all discounted, if everything's just fucking discounted, that must be what she's talking about.
I have 1,500 customers beneath me. And I made $100 yesterday.
I'm also confused too. She's like, yesterday, but she announced that Monat had terminated her weeks ago. So did they just well, no, they wouldn't have let her finish out the month of May because it's not even finished yet. I don't know. I'm confused. But there are also people who were terminated who didn't get their last check. So is she saying, yeah, I got my last check. It was only $100 though. Now, how come like what she's doing isn't like worthy of not receiving a paycheck, but like all the other leaders that have been terminated are all saying, oh, I haven't been paid. Maybe the other leaders were making more money and they didn't want to pay it out, but to Angela, they're just like, it's $100 and she's gonna go on a fucking rampage if we don't pay her, so let's just...
When these people at the top of the company are telling you to put your blinders on and get to work and go live and enroll more people and you can do it, you're not working hard enough. I'm here to tell you that no one worked harder than me. And I made $100 yesterday. So I'm trying to look at these comments, you guys.
She's saying the quiet part out loud.
Stuart was the compass of this company. Thank you.
It sounds to me like Stuart had like an authority that didn't really get anyone anywhere, because it sounds like the Urdaneta family, they had a bunch of restrictions on Stuart. Like, he was basically just the face of Monat. He was the charismatic leader of Monat, basically. But like, from what I'm understanding, it's not like he had like a vision and was able to carry out that vision, because in his lawsuit he was saying things like, I was trying to make the company better by trying to cut costs on manufacturing and trying to get this done, this and that. He couldn't get it done because he had a boss. He had bosses. So to say that Stuart was the compass of this company, he's the one who was leading everyone to success, it's like, he super wasn't though. He was just the guy who would show up in goofy, stupid videos and pray on Sundays at convention. Like, it sounds like they're just kind of making excuses for why they left. I think a lot of people, like, were just waiting for an out, and Stuart leaving was enough for them to be like, oh, I can point the finger at something else now instead of saying that I failed. You know what I mean? I think that's what's happening here, because whatever reality these people think they're living in, where Stuart was just some, like, messiah leading the poor, unfortunate market partners in Monat to victory, and it's like, that never happened. That was never a thing.
Stuart is incredible. Stuart, you guys.
He's a troll.
When they terminated Stuart, we all knew that something was up, but here's the thing. When you ask a question, you get shut down and silenced. That was the other thing. I asked a question in the leaders chat about the product changes, the ingredient changes, and I got silenced, shut down, canceled. Because you ask a question about ingredients and it's like, oh, be quiet, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, your hair won't fall out, just get back to work. And I was like, you guys, I have legitimate questions about these ingredients. Like, my brand, my people are very low tox. Like, I make every meal from scratch. I eat all organic. I don't eat fast food. I don't eat out. I don't eat seed oils. My followers are very low tox.
At least they think they are anyway. Please, come on.
So if these ingredients have changed, which, by the way, the ingredient changes I'm not getting into. The only thing I'll tell you that for sure is we were told that the fragrances were all plant-derived.
Can confirm, because I've tried Monat. I have a video where I tried Monat for 8 months. I'm not even kidding. If you're new here, what's up? You should go watch that video. Because I put my scalp and my hair at risk for an 8-month-long video project. Can confirm, basically none of the products smell like good. Like an artificial, like, herbal essences or something, you know? They don't smell like that. Some of them don't have a smell, then others are just kind of like, it doesn't smell bad, and then there are others that I'm just like, I can confirm that whatever fragrances they were using, at least because this was a while ago, so it was before they changed whatever formulas, but I can confirm that it definitely didn't smell fake, but it also, it's not like it really smelled that great anyway. It's just meh.
You guys, read your ingredient labels. Okay, that's all I was saying.
I mean, the anti-MLM movement has brought up concerns about Monat's ingredients basically this whole time, especially since there was a class action lawsuit. I think multiple, actually. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But there was at least one class action lawsuit about hair loss, about the people who had suffered greatly at the hands of Monat. They had, I think it was like red clover extract or something like that, which can cause hormonal disruptions in women, which obviously can lead to like miscarriages and stuff. Like that was a big concern. Like we've been having qualms about Monat's ingredients for years now. And yeah, I guess they did make recent changes that I guess were too much for these people, but it's just kind of like, this isn't new though. Like Monat has always kind of had questionable standards, I guess, in my opinion.
Let's just circle back around to the beginning, and
What is that tattoo on her wrist? It looks like a pizza.
I'm going to tell you the end. God, please protect my tongue and let me just tell the truth and just move on. Because y'all know I like to just roll on out here with lots of words, but I'm just trying to stay in alignment with God, okay? So I told you guys, I reached out to someone that I trusted, a Christian, top of the company. I reached out to someone that I trusted, and I said, listen, shoot me straight. Are people cheating? Are you stacking? Are you lying to get to the top? And she had told me no.
Of course. Duh.
She had told me no. Angela, just get to work. Work harder, Angela. Go live more, Angela. You need to enroll more people. You need to put your blinders on. You need to reach out to your entire downline. If someone isn't working, you just need to find someone else to work. I reached my breaking point, and I know that I'm ready to leave the company, but I need someone to tell me the truth.
None of these people will ever tell you the truth. Not unless they leave, which is basically what she's doing right now. She would have never said any of this if she was still involved in Monat, but you don't ever hear the truth from people who are still actively in the company.
A little birdie tells me
Tweet.
that she has seen it with her own eyes. Actually, sorry. No. Not that she has seen it with her own eyes. That it happened to her. Let me just be clear. Not hearsay, not secondhand. She tells me that it happened to her, that this Christian leader that had told me that she had never cheated, she had never lied, and that she got to the top through hard work, and that I wasn't working hard enough. This woman tells me that this Christian that I trusted paid a girl that was enrolling with her. She paid her, which is, you cannot buy someone's product pack. Like, you can't buy someone to come to your team. You can't do that. That's illegal. That's deceit.
I don't think that's illegal, like in a legal sense. Definitely deceitful, yes. Fudging the numbers a little bit, yeah. But illegal? I don't know. And I feel like that's something that could easily be done under the table. This is not the only time this has happened. Like when I joined Gold Canyon Candles, I ended up buying my own kit, but like the person who recruited me had been trying to recruit me for a while. And at first, like months before I actually ended up joining, this person was like, I'll pay the $50 or $100 or whatever it was. I'll buy your starter kit for you if you join my team. And I said no at that time because I didn't know what I would have been getting into. But then over time, I ended up joining anyway and then buying my own. But yeah, I mean, it happened in like a tiny little MLM like Gold Canyon. Like it's definitely happening all the time in Monat and probably all the other MLMs too, honestly. When you are someone who's making, like she was saying, $30, $40, $50,000 a month, you can afford to shill out a few $100 to some people to join your team every month, you know? And then I guess it would kind of be a tax write-off, wouldn't it? Maybe.
This woman tells me the woman I trusted did that. So I send a message. I'm like, hey, this person, said that you illegally bought someone's business. You stole someone. And she blocked me. Someone that I have talked to nearly every single day for the last couple of years, someone that I trusted with my faith, my journey with God, someone that I considered an elder as a Christian, someone that I trusted with my heart, someone that I trusted with my business, someone that I trusted with my faith in Jesus Christ. And I said to her, this isn't about the business. This is about like Christian to Christian. I asked you. You guys, please do not spread gossip and drama and stuff I will block you. If you're on my comments and you're spreading gossip and drama, I will block you and I want you to stop doing that. Stop doing that. I am here telling you my experience. I'm not here to spread more gossip and drama. Stop it.
I mean, you kind of are though, aren't you? Isn't that what you're doing? Aren't you kind of spreading some more gossip? I mean, she's not saying names. So I guess that just absolves her of any wrongdoing because, she's a Christian. It's just so frustrating. It's like, the way that these people always want to say that, like, Christians have the moral superiority over everybody else. It's just such bullshit, dude. And obviously, like, buying someone's starter kit and then lying and joining a pyramid scheme is not the worst thing that a person could do, let alone a Christian. But, like, I know plenty of non-Christians who wouldn't do any of those things. I know plenty of non-Christians who are very truthful and honest and wouldn't lie and deceive their way to a paycheck. It's just to keep harping on the whole, like, well, she was a Christian, so she should be good. It's like, have you been living under a rock? Sorry, not sorry, but the people who are so, like, vocally Christian all the time, 9 times out of 10, they got some wild skeletons in their closet. I'm just saying. Not all Christians, okay? Some of y'all are good out there. I know. I was a Christian for 25 years. I know. But at the same time, it's just wild to me that multi-level marketing companies have such a large, like, religious demographic, mainly Christian, if not, you know, Mormon, which I guess is a branch off of Christianity, whatever. Literally, the way that they make their money is by lying, deceiving, doing things that are not Christ-like. They exhibit some of the deadly sins, like envying other people who are higher than them. Greed. Greed is a pretty big one. Probably not lust, unless you're in pure romance. I don't remember the rest of them, but I'm sure they all apply.
I'm gonna block every single one of you. Stop it. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. You need to, here's the bottom line, you guys. You need to trust your intuition. You need to trust what God is telling you. I already knew I was done with Monat. I already knew I was leaving Monat. I pushed so hard. I need water.
Calm down, Angela. You're getting a little too worked up.
Trust your intuition. Trust what God is telling you. I already knew I was leaving Monat, but I pushed so hard. I spent thousands of dollars to hire a personal assistant to build out systems. I reached out to every person in my downline. I started running. I started enrolling 10, 20, 30 people, market partners. I started to work harder than I had ever worked. But I already knew that I was leaving Monat because I had it in my body. Like, I knew it in my body.
But then why would you go and invest a bunch of money into it then? Oh, I hired a personal assistant and I made all these things and I did all these things. It's like, if you knew in your heart that you weren't going to be there for much longer, then why throw thousands of dollars at it? Like, this isn't making sense, Angela.
Anyway, I'm just telling you this because I want you to know, if you're my market partner or my VIP, I want you to know where my heart is. Like, you guys, I tried so hard. I trusted, I believed, like all the anti-MLM people, all the anti-network marketing people, I just ignored them, even though, y'all, they harassed me nonstop, stalked me nonstop. Like, y'all, they released a documentary about me.
She's talking about me? Well, I know Chelsea just released part 1 of hers, so maybe she's talking about that. I don't know. That's really funny. I like how she's like, yeah, they harassed me and stalked me. Oh, so researching you, that the shit you publicly post on the internet, so researching you is stalking you now? Angela, you moved recently. I don't know where you live. If I was stalking you, I'd be outside of your house right now, okay? I'd rather not. Harassing, I've never spoken a word to Angela. I've never reached out to Angela, although, yes, I have made videos about her. At this point, no, I don't want to say we're all kind of on her side right now, because we're not. We like the tea she's spilling. There are a lot of people who don't feel bad for her. Personally, I do kind of feel bad for her. I've explained this at the beginning. Despite how Angela has so many personality flaws, and she really truly does. We can all agree on that. Lots of personality flaws. I watch her with her daughter. I think she's a good mom. Aside from the fact that she won't vaccinate her child, you know, that would be doing what is best for her child. But that aside, I think she's a good mom. She seems like an attentive mom. She seems like she really truly loves her child. And those kind of little things, you know, you could pick it apart all you want. But to me, I see those things and I'm like, she's human. She has a life. She has things that she loves. She has feelings. Call me naive, I guess. But it's those kind of things that make me sad to see that she's struggling through something right now. But maybe I just have a little too much empathy for people. And also, I don't think my documentary about her was bad. I mean, like, towards the end, I guess I was critical of how she was making her money and stuff, and her being a cult leader and shit. Yeah, like, I was definitely critical of her, but I think I tried to give her credit where credit was due also in that video. I definitely tried to humanize her to all of the audience, and again, everything in that documentary was publicly available. But sure, I'm stalking you. If it was really that big of a deal, you should have blocked me when I made my documentary.
I ignored it all. And I just thought, I'm just going to work harder. I'm going to prove that you can have integrity in this business.
I think the other thing too, I forgot to mention, sorry to pause it again, but I think a reason why the anti-MLM movement is so drawn to Angela is because of how outspoken she is, how absurd some of her views and thoughts are. She has said a lot of fucked up stuff, dude. When you portray yourself like that on the internet, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of eyes on you. It's definitely like a personality thing, and she puts out so much content, and so much of it is hateful and worthy of criticism. So she's just kind of being like, I don't know why they're so obsessed with me. It's like, it's because of the way she conducts herself. She's definitely a character that we don't see very often in MLMs. Like, we see a lot of the holier than thou, conspiracy theorist, anti-vaxxer, you know, we see those things a lot. But with Angela, maybe it's because of her past, there's something unique about her that I think the anti-MLM movement really clings on to. And it's kind of like, you love her or you hate her. Most of us hate her, but it's like, I cannot honestly say that I hate Angela in the same way that I can't honestly say that I hate Jessie Lee Ward, even though she's passed on. I mean, I don't hate any of these people, really. I'm just critical of them. And because Angela is so out there and so outspoken, that's why we all choose to talk about her as much as we do. That's why she's the only MLM distributor that I've ever done a full, like, documentary style video about. Because she has put so much of herself out there, love it or hate it, you know? She's unique. Whether we all want to admit it or not, she is unique. She does have something special and different. Not a very likable quality of hers, but, you know, nonetheless, she's a human. So I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. Like, I totally understand if you're one of these people who are just like, nope, I hate her. She doesn't deserve any sympathy. She's a scammer. She's this, that, whatever. And yep, she definitely is all of those things. But at the end of it, I always want to keep remembering that, you know, she's a human who's been through some shit. So I don't know. That's just my opinion.
My heart was literally shattered. The people that I trusted, the women that I trusted in this business, the women that I believed in this business, the women that I looked up to in this business, like, to find out that I had been lied to, that I had been deceived for greed, for paychecks, like, when they know, you guys, they all know what's going on. They all see and know what's going on in this company. Like, we all know there's a flash sale every day. We all know that no one's making any commission. You're making 0% CV on, you're making 0 CV on a flash sale. We all know no one's making money. We all know no one's getting their car payments. Like, we all know that. So you see all these top people stepping away now, some very quietly, some really loudly, but they're stepping away because we all know. We all know. So if you're watching this and you're my VIP or you're my market partner, I cannot support a company that has allowed stacking, and they show preference. They show preference to people. They're like, oh, if we like you, you can stack.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, actually. I was getting ready to pause it, and she said it. Technically, I think, according to their policies, I don't think you're supposed to be allowed to stack, but we obviously know it happens in Monat. Stacking, if you didn't know, is basically you're like creating fake distributor accounts and then like enrolling them underneath each other, and basically it like opens up more commissions for you as the leader. It's something weird like that. So like they'll recruit like their husbands and their kids and their grandmas and their aunts and like whatever, like they'll just make accounts for them to just like artificially like manipulate the compensation plan. But yeah, so like a lot of MLMs make it so that like you can't do that. It's against the policies or whatever. I'm pretty sure Monat is one of these companies who says you can't do it. But like if you're someone that Monat likes, then it's totally okay if you do that. But don't let them catch you doing it, or else they're gonna have to give you a slap on the wrist, you know?
If we like you, you can bonus buy. If we like you, you can buy people. If we like you, I have to go check to see where Eve is. If they like you, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. But like, it's just, we all know what's happening. We all know what's happening in the company. Like every single person knows. Anyway, we are gonna go. I hope you guys have the best day. If you are my VIP or my market partner, you are no longer under me. I highly suggest you terminate your account. Number one, You can buy on Amazon.
Dude, the way that she's doing this right now, like, this is gonna get her in trouble with Monat, dude. I'm pretty sure whatever contract she signed when she signed up basically said, usually these companies say something along the lines of, like, you can't disparage the company. Convincing people to cancel their accounts, I'm pretty sure is a big no-no, Angela. But she's like, gotta be careful what I say. And then she also prayed to God to help her tongue not get her in trouble. I don't know, God just must have thought you were joking or something, because, like, he clearly isn't helping you from saying all this shit.
I love the products. Well, I don't anymore because they're making, people have a lot of issues. But I would terminate my account and buy on Amazon if you want, or just terminate your account and find something else. I will be sharing products that I'm using that I have found. I just wanted to come on here because a lot of you guys are messaging me, DMing me, texting me, emailing me like, wait, you're not my market partner anymore. No, I am not. I was terminated. Which means that the $2 million that I earned, Monat, I get no commissions on, which is fine. I am totally fine with it. I feel such peace.
Is she suggesting that her last paycheck was $2 million? No, that has to be like, no. That has to be like over the span of her time in Monat that she's made them $2 million. There's no way that was like, and then she only got paid $100 for it. Like, there's no way. If you're gonna say, oh yeah, I made Monat $2 million and didn't get any, I got $0 from that. Well, we already know you made at least like $30,000 or something whenever that year was that Chelsea got all those data sheets and stuff, so you've made money somehow. I'm pretty sure they've been paying you. Like, what does that even mean?
I wish that I had terminated first. I was hoping things would get better. Anyway, I love you guys. I will share with you my new favorite products. I didn't mean to be on here, but I wanted to just give you an update. And I hope you guys are having the best day, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
Bye, Angela. Actually, let's say hi to Angela again. I just want to see if she's posted anything on her Instagram today, because, spoiler alert, she's back to updating her Instagram regularly. Yep, see, here we go. She's got, when did she post this? A day ago. I tried to quit Instagram, but I missed my people. Say hi if you're one of them. Here's the thing, I've been on here for over a decade. This isn't my first or second account, and I have mostly loved connecting with y'all. Sometimes I get bogged down with the doom scrolling, scrollers, and trollers and trial by social media jury, but I'm learning to just laugh at it all and to only follow people who truly bring me joy and education. Education on what, Angela? You have a very selective form of education. You don't want to listen to a lot of things that people have tried to educate you on. But anyway, I'm dedicated to sharing my wisdom and inspiration with making you laugh, keeping you accountable, and forgiveness and joy. Well, accountability who, Angela? I don't think you know her either. And sharing whatever makes my heart sing. Anything else is just gone. Thanks for being here. Blah, 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 blah. She's back to doing this. She's back to her regular posting. She was off social media for like 2 weeks, and now she's back, baby. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got for you today. Obviously, I will continue keeping you updated as more things come out. Before we end it here, though, I just want to thank my patrons and my members, guys. The list of names I'm about to read off are my financial supporters. They get access to things like our private Discord server. We have a postcard club, sometimes early access to videos. I'll probably give you guys early access to this one, because I don't have a sponsor on it. So yeah, sometimes even more. So if any of that sounds good to you, you can go to patreon.com/Savannah Marie, or you can click the join button beneath this video to join my YouTube memberships. Just whatever platform works for you, works fine for me, whatever you wanna do. And so with that, the biggest thank you in the whole wide world goes to Hula Chowdown, Jacqueline Nutton, Kessie Drew, KJ Barnes, Leanne, Caroline Reed, Daniel Urena, Maddie Darley, Ray, Love to Be Evil, AJC, Just Mark, Martine Hubert, Amber Price, Baby Pink Pearl, Alice Wagner, LaSalle Story, Mother Dragon 82, Fallon Lowry, Hannah, Jessica Billhart, Emion, and Auntie Lou, and to the rest of my financial supporters, thank you so much for being here and for being you. And even if you're not a financial supporter, thanks for making it to the end of this video. YouTube loves watch time, so it just really helps get my content pushed out to more people. I don't know, as always, I'll just see you when I see ya. I'm still trying to actually figure out what topic I want to do for my next deep dive. I have a few ideas, I just haven't really decided on one, so there will be another one coming soon, as always, but I just haven't decided what the topic will be. So anyway, okay, I'll see y'all later. Bye!